Hey folks, haven't had a video up in a while, but I really haven't had a reason to. Haven't found much lately. It's been here in Canada, we had a couple of snowstorms that pretty much kills off any chance of garage sales or estate sales and such. And really, because it's getting around Christmas, the store's a bit busy, haven't had a chance to get out, missed a couple of nostalgia shows that would have been fun to hit, but again, it's been kind of busy. So what speaking of bad business decisions, so Good Friday, not Good Friday, good Lord, Black Friday, which sounds really metal, came last weekend, and instead of me opening for it and offering incredible deals, I decided to take off with my wife to the Goodwill Bins in London, Ontario, and I'm really glad I did. We hummed and hawed about it, and we finally decided, you know what, this will be the last one for a while, because we lose our babysitters when my parents go down to Florida for the rest of the year. Well, for several months, they got a place down there. And so we said, this will be it until probably summer. And yeah, got some usual good stuff, but like got what is one of my holy grail toys. And I'll sort of save that till the end, or maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But anyways, let's get into it. It was great. For those of you who don't know, the bins are essentially like a warehouse sale type place. They have the stuff that gets sent back from the local Goodwill stores, unsold, gets sent there before they essentially just take it to the landfill, and they try to reduce as much of their landfill impact as possible there by selling things off by the pound. They also get raw donations thrown in, which is great because that's usually where the really good stuff is. And essentially this stuff ends up being cheaper than garage sales. I mean, it really is when you get down to it. And the stuff you get is way better than what I'm finding at garage sales in the last few years. So yeah, the way they do it is they bring out different bins. They have them sort of broken up into different categories. There's like clothing, shoes and handbags, hard goods, electronics, toys, media, so that'll be like books, records, tapes, CDs, DVDs, all of it. They bring them out in these giant wheeled bins. They line them up and they rotate them out about every, yeah, I'd say probably every 15-20 minutes. They bring out at least 3 new bins, and everybody lines up, and as soon as they lock the wheels on those bins, people just dive in and start grabbing it. It's not for everyone, but I love it. So yeah, wait till the end of the video and I will show you what I paid for all this, because it will blow you away at just how cheap this is. We'll save that. I've got the receipt. And for those of you who doubt, because I would too, when some of this stuff, especially the one that I've got at the end, I took a picture of it. It's the header for this video, where you can actually see the toy in the cart at Goodwill, at the bins where I got it. Unfortunately, they don't like you filming in there, so I don't film in there just because I don't want to pee anyone off. So we'll start off. This thing, everything is done by weight there. It's different costs per, excuse me, type of item. And some of the heavier stuff, they'll just give you a flat rate price. Now, this is a GEC, so it's General Electric Company from England. Giant sort of industrial fan, as I call them, the finger choppers, because these things, once they get going, will take your fingers off. It probably will need to be rewired, but that's not a big deal with these. It's a pretty simple job. I will take it to a professional and get that done rather than doing it myself and taking a risk on it. I'll get them to oil it up and everything beforehand, but it's a great piece. And it was pretty heavy. When they weighed it, it was like $27. So she just said $5. And you know what? For $5, you've got everything there. You know, needs a bit of a cleanup, but I like that authenticity look to it. A bit of patina, as they say in the biz. Other cool thing I got, this. Now, I don't know if you can get that perloid kind of psychedelic look to it. It is by Tupperware. Look at this toy that I got stuck in here. It's by Tupperware. I don't know if we can get this on the camera or not. Can we do it? Oh yeah, there you go. Tuppercraft by Tupperware. And this was somewhere on there as a date. It's like 1955 or 56. And it's a laundry hamper. And it needs a bit of cleaning, but it is so cool looking. Did have a little flaw, one piece right there. That might actually be salvageable. But same thing again. This thing cost me, well, probably in the range of $1 at most, maybe by weight, because it doesn't weigh hardly anything. It is a plastic, possibly Bakelite, or just an early form of plastic. And the comps on them on eBay are like anywhere from 50 to 150 depending on condition and completeness. This one doesn't have the lid, which for a laundry hamper, you know, is it really necessary? I don't know. So yeah, that's a great pickup. I've never even seen one before. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks cool. Grabbed it and realized. This is a Britain's helicopter. Unfortunately, it's missing its rotors. Often happens with the stuff in the bins. It gets smashed and bashed around. But I didn't see them in there, so it probably came this way. But it does have lots of usable parts. It's got its little grappling hook on there. The guys are in there. The canopy windows are in great shape. The baskets on the side are there. You can strip this thing down and sell it for parts. There's one up there, it was like 60 bucks. And it was missing its rotors and half the stuff on it. So I think probably, you know, this will be like stripped down 20, 25 bucks to sell all the parts off from it. So again, another nice piece, and it probably cost me less than 50 cents. So yeah. Other things, this is a little more modern. This will probably end up going to my kid. This was one that came back from the Goodwill. You can actually see it has a Soul Goodwill sticker on there. It's never been opened. It's just, you know, new old stock. I don't know when this is from, frankly. I know it's probably sometime 2014. So yeah, it's almost 10 years old. But you know, stick it away or let my kid play with it. It's fine. This Panasonic, it's not in there, so obviously it dropped out in one of the bags. It'll show up in one of the bags, I'm sure. But in the box, it's actually a little cassette recorder. It's voice activated. You can use it like a Walkman as well, but it came with the box, the adapter, everything like that. It's pretty easy money. This I just bought for research. Believe it or not, before the internet, this is what we all used to gain knowledge about things. It was price guides. This one isn't a price guide, but it's a book of marks. And when you're dealing with any of these subjects, silver, pottery, glass, ceramics, this is invaluable. I think I already have one, but this one in particular, I've got one from the States, but this one in particular deals with Canadian marks as well, which is really great because that stuff isn't as well recorded as the US and UK, things like that. So it's a great little reference book. This guy right here, it was probably, I know it was a giveaway because I remember it, probably late 1980s, by the look of the teams on there. Pat Borders is on there. Some of the other guys, I'm trying to look to see if I see Dave Steve on there, but it's the Blue Jays. It was probably given away in Loblaws stores as a promo by Schneider's Loblaws. There's the Loblaws. And then inside it even had the thermos, and that one is also Nielsen's Dairy, a giveaway for the Blue Jays type thing. So it's a nice advertising piece, crossover, baseball collectible. What else? Oh yeah, this. This is probably late 60s, maybe early 70s. It's got a bit of damage up there, but this is the GM6, which was closer to sort of the professional level. This wasn't a kid's thing. This was a legit blocker, and it's from Cooper. And I looked up the GM6 line stuff and like the sell comps on these. Now, admittedly, those ones are perfect, are in the $100 type range. So when you see old goalie equipment, don't ignore it. Pick it up, give it a look online. And again, you know, wouldn't have cost me too much out of there. When you see the price at the end of this video, you're going to be blown away, or at least I sort of am, because I can't believe I can get stuff that cheap. But yeah, that's a great pickup. Old Sports Equipment is having a moment. Well, it's always had a moment, but a lot more guys are putting it up in their man caves as such. There we go. Look at Daisy and her Daisy the Duke with her Daisy Dukes on. Yeah, it's a puzzle. I haven't counted it yet, but I figure a 1980s puzzle. It's open, admittedly. Hopefully all the pieces there. Even if not, just fun little thing. Maybe somebody will want to buy it if I don't have all the pieces for, you know, a couple bucks. Oh, wait. I just noticed this is like the late ones after John Snyder and the other guy left. Crazy. I forgot all about that. So yeah, this is probably a little harder to find than most. Look at that. There you go. Just learned something new. Again, bought this, just the box. There was nothing else of it. It was probably used to hold other stuff, but I didn't know that they even made these Happy Days model car kits. It's pretty cool. There's Fonzie's little car with Richie and Potsy, the Dragon Wagon. I just bought it because the box is a great display piece. You know, not a lot of money there, but still something to... Here's another one that's the same kind of thing. Probably early to mid 60s, Lindbergh line Airjet. The problem is I found the box. Another guy told me later that he'd seen parts of the model all through the bins. I couldn't find them, but it's got the original decals in there, which again, you can sell those by itself. And I'm into trading cards, and this has its trading card uncut, so I'll keep that probably for my card collection, and sell off the parts that are still left in there, because there are quite a few. And that decal sheet is probably worth a little bit, because who still has decal sheets from the, you know, mid 60s? If you're into a model collector and you're putting this together, 90% of the time that decal sheet is gone. So you know, it isn't always a bad thing to have stuff missing. What else we get? Oh yeah, beauty little enamel casserole dish, and it is Quistgaard, I believe, and Dansk. There it is, Dansk Denmark on there. Cast iron, gorgeous piece. You know, comps on it are like anywhere from 25 to 50 bucks. You know, so that's all right. What else did I get in here? I got a lot of paperwork this time. This is really cool. I picked up quite a few of these. It's an old, you know, the World Cup's going on right now. Sadly, Canada got knocked out, but still have England, hopefully. This was the 2010 Cup, and it's the broadcast guide by ESPN, and it's a really cool little thing. Each of the qualifying teams, it's almost like an advent calendar. You pop them open, and you can see all the stats about each one. And there's the full schedule. And I must have got, there's probably about 15 of these. I just grabbed a stack. This is awesome too. This He-Man and the Masters Universe magazine. It's 1988. The artwork is incredible on these. It still has, look at that. The ads inside are amazing, but it still has its centerfold poster, which, look at that. That's worth it alone. And it also had an insert, this Captain Power magazine, which was another toy. So that's kind of cool to find. It's all complete. It's in pretty good shape. The comics are great. The comps on these are about 20 to 25 bucks, depending if you have the poster or not. So I grabbed that. This I just grabbed because, well, I have a little thing for Maryland. I mean, you know, who doesn't? After Dark was a pretty well established, well, it didn't actually sell a lot. It was kind of an underground paper that tried to be an overground paper. Had a lot of gay subjects. Covered you know, mainly New York City and the big cities and nightlife and stuff like that, but it was a culture magazine. It's a great little magazine, but I bought this one because it's just the Maryland cover, and I had no idea. There's one that just sold for 65 bucks with like 15 bidders or whatever on eBay, so you can't lose with that. What else we got in here? There is, yeah, another one. I just grabbed it because it's sealed in the package. Mega Bloks, Ninja Turtles. My kid will probably take them off me. Okay, moving along. Oh, may as well deal with this. So, yeah, a Dale Earnhardt Jr. NASCAR Budweiser leather Chase Authentics jacket. Now, it's a bit dirty on the arms, but that'll clean up pretty easy. Leather often does, especially white leather. I know it seems like it wouldn't, but it does really easy. It's in good shape. No, other than that, no rips, no tears, no major stains. And again, 50 to 75 bucks, depending, on condition and the displays on this one. So, again, it wouldn't have cost more than $5, I'm sure. More books. That one's just for me to read. It's a great box set. Sorry about the shaky camera work here, but I should have probably got all these things out. That's another one for me, The Works of Oscar Wilde. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. 1983 sticker book. Now, the sticker books were always sort of the sort of sad stepsister to hockey cards, but people have started to get really into them again, and this one's, I think, almost complete. I think it's missing 1 or 2 stickers. All the Gretzky's are in there. Again, would have cost next to nothing. I got some record albums. Oh, I got this awesome too, 1970 Johnny Cash tour program. Look at Johnny. God. Damn, that guy was a hero. Yeah, and the Carter family's all in there too, because they all toured together for a period of time. Let's get some of these records out here. Oh yeah, I got a couple of really cool Psych records. 45s particularly. This one's The Ugly Ducklings. It's the Gaslight single on Yorkville. It's a nice, fairly hard to find. It's not super rare, but another Canadian. And this one's a little harder to find. It's the Collectors. Now, the Collectors released 2 albums. They're great pieces of Canadian psychedelia if you can find them. I didn't even know these singles, they put out singles for this stuff, but again, small Canadian label. The Collectors eventually went on to be, in the 1970s, went on to be Chilliwack. Big change in sound, obviously, but, sorry about the poor camera work again. A couple other things. Perth County Green, this is a Canadian, on Dominion's smaller Canadian thing, the Cream Cheese Good Time Band. Perth County Green is the name of the album. This is a nice piece of bluegrass playing. I mean, if you're into that, this is it. It's a bunch of hippies who basically decided to do bluegrass music, and it's pretty hard to find. A couple others I just picked up. Kate and Anna, which is another great set of Canadian artists. Lloyd Price. And these are actually in really good condition. And then, what else did I get in there? Oh, yeah. Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly with the die-cut cover. Three Dog Night. This was actually gifted to me by one of the other people who was there digging. I think they saw me eyeing it enviously. And at the end, they just came over and said, hey, do you want this? I'm not that interested in it. And the nice thing about this record, it's got all of the playing cards in it. I'm not going to open it up, but there's large, oversized playing cards that were part of it. Some other cool things. Again, these are just fun. This one's awesome. It's somebody made some homemade display stuff. And this one is a newspaper cut out of the Clash show. It's at the Ontario Theatre on the first thing. This is for the Give 'Em Enough Rope Tour. I don't know if that's Canadian or not. But either way, it's pretty cool. They did it up really nice. They did one for Howard Jones, one for Morgan Riley of the Leafs. I don't think the autographs on those are real. And then this one's Big Audio Dynamite too. They did another one, which is from, there you go. It's pretty cool. I just, again, they cost nothing. I think outside of that, it's Red Wings. May as well pull it out. All right, that's for one of the Molson Indies in Toronto. Some McDonald's cards, but the George Bell card is actually, that is signed by George Bell, which is pretty rad. Some old tattoos, Red Wings, patch, a few other little things in there. What is this? These are just books again. A Gretzky book. That's where that is. I was looking for this to show my kid because he's into Zelda now, so I got to pick that up for him. So something fun for us to read together. We're almost getting to the big important part, but not quite there yet. What are we looking at there? This is a Grey Cup football. It was a giveaway for the 96 Cup. Kind of cool. This, I have no idea like what it is. It's official Muppets. It's probably pretty old. My guess is 70s, but and I can't roll it all the way out because I only got one hand, but you can kind of get an idea. It's Ernie and Bert, Big Bird. And the idea was you wrote the birth date and the weight of the child, and you wrote the child's name up there. It's kind of on like a gossamer type cloth. I don't even, yeah, but somebody will dig that. This was cool and unexpected. For those of you who know a bit about Canadian history, you will know that we are very proud of our Dion quintuplets. I think they were the first surviving quintuplets born, and they were huge. I mean, they were on covers of magazines around the world. They received massive coverage. And this is the Quince Museum in North Bay, a little pennant, probably from the 1960s, maybe a bit earlier than that. It needs to be flattened out, but still a pretty cool piece. What else I get in here? Yeah, lots of cassettes. There was like tons of cassettes, so I just grabbed those because people buy them all the time. There's Dre, there's Metallica, The Wall. What else I get? Cypress Hill. Judgment Night soundtrack, which is amazing. It's kind of like got these great mixed up sort of some metal and alternative bands with hip-hop artists at the time. So you got like Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot, Ice-T, and Slayer doing tracks together. It's great setup. Snickens. Oh, there's that cassette recorder. Okay, so there, you can see it now. And then a few other things in there. Oh, my first at the bins piece of vintage Star Wars. It is the cover to the Cloud car. It's legit. Now I just have to see if I still have my Cloud cars or not, because mine was missing them. I may have moved them on, but if not, again, somebody will buy that for 15, 20 bucks on eBay. So. And then this, I have no idea what it is, but it's a little Coke can. It's got to be early because it has made in Hong Kong on it there, I think. Yeah, so you're looking at probably 1970s, maybe a bit earlier. Nice little advertising piece. Okay, and the pièce de résistance, as they say, is this. Now, this is a holy grail toy for me. I had the $6 Million Man when I was a kid. In I don't know when it was, probably mid-70s, early 70s. But I never come across one that I could find that was something I could justify paying for. And so when the bins rolls, you line up and hope that, good stuff ends up in front of you. Because if it doesn't, you're probably not going to be able to reach it. This thing was like right in front of me, to the point when the wheels locked, I kind of paused for a minute because I was staring at it thinking that can't be real. And nobody else kind of dove for it. And so I just reached over casually and grabbed it out. It is in the box, the $6 Million Bionic Man, Steve Austin. He is pantless, but he has his running shoes. And he has his top, and deep down inside here is the engine, which I have another one of these that I was saving. I came across it in hopes that one day I would get a doll and keep it. Now I can get rid of that too, because there you go. That was what he used to pick up to work out his muscles on, because he was so powerful. The box, a little bit of water damage. You know what? That'll clean up pretty easy. But the cellophane's there, like the cover's there. There's no real missing pieces, and it's not completely destroyed. It had his shoes are there, which is kind of good too. What else did it have on here? All of the instructions were there. The Bionic Action Club paperwork was there. There was even, that's for him, there's French instructions and English instructions, because obviously being in Canada, we had to have both. But the instructions of the backpack radio were in here, which sadly, that didn't show up. The only thing that was a little kind of, moment was when I got this and was walking away, and I was kind of in shock. I walked over, and a young lady walked by me with the Bionic Woman. So it must have been another bin. That box looked, you know, in pretty good shape too, and there was accessories and stuff there she was carrying out. And I kind of went over and was like, oh, cool, you got that. And so I said, I got the $6 million man. And so it was kind of neat to see both of those. I hung around after that for a lot longer than we probably should have, in hopes that something else would come out of that era. But nothing did. I mean, we were, you know, we left probably around 4 or 5 o'clock, probably closer to 5. I think they're open till 8. So who knows, might have come out after, but yeah, it blows me away. Like, that never, you don't find stuff of, well, that's not true, because I have gotten, you know, incredible stuff. But in terms of toys with their boxes from this era, few and far between. I've gotten other great pieces. You know, I got like a $800 turntable that had a, you know, on top of that, it had like a $600 tone arm. You can get great stuff. You can make a living if all you do is go to the bins every day. Because the prices are so absurdly cheap. The stuff that shows up is so good sometimes. I mean, not every time, but every time the trip is worth it. I might not get a holy grail like this every time, but you know. And my wife, she does vintage clothing. I grabbed a couple of shirts myself too that were kind of cool. Single stitch shirts, not band shirts or anything fancy, but she has pulled out some really nice vintage band shirts out of there. She got Metallica's Ride the Lightning tour shirt and a couple others not too long ago, but she does you know, vintage clothing as well as like some of the better clothing brands, and she does really well as well. So my total for everything you just saw is $48.38. Yeah, less than 50 bucks Canadian, which is probably somewhere around between the $35 and $40 US mark for my American friends. But that is it right there. Hard to believe. Like, you can see the individual prices. The other thing too is once you get over a certain amount, they drop the price. They give you what's known as the manager's discount, and the prices go down. So for accessories, it's $1.95. Sorry, it's $2.10. But the price drops on some of those. You get a discount at the end, and the other stuff, you know, was $1.10 a pound. I mean, where else are you going to get prices like that? So yeah, it was a good trip. I figured it was video worthy, so yeah, I put this stuff aside before I cleaned it up. The $6 million man will not be coming to the store. That will be going up onto my shelf of my toy shelf, which, yeah, sometimes grown men have toy shelves. That's legitimate. You know, no problem with it. But yeah, that was everything here. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope if you're in sunnier climes that you're still getting out to garage sales and finding stuff. Or maybe, you know, you come across a good estate and you can get in there and dig and find some great stuff. If you have any comments, just feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you dig this stuff, you know, videos are going to be coming out slower over the next little while. I'm not going to, you know, try to say that I'm going to be doing these every week now, because I don't put videos up unless I have something that, you know, I feel is pretty good, or, you know, I save up a few things that I find over the couple of weeks and put it up. But if you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe, as the kids say, and yeah, hope y'all have a good day. Steve Austin's Bionic Eye is looking at you. Bye.